Hello everybody, today we're going to show you how to install the sexy dash inside your legacy model 3 or Y. If you own a Juniper or a Highland model, you don't have to watch this video. We have another one already made in our channel and I'm going to leave a link for it down in the description below. However, if you have watched our unboxing video, you have already noticed that there are two methods of installing the sexy dash into this car, and Dimitar, our CEO, is going to show us today how to do it.
So we have two installation methods. One is under the windshield and the other one is behind the steering wheel.
Which one do you prefer?
Yeah, I prefer the one which is right behind the windshield because it gives that heads-up display-like feel, and also it's a little bit easier to install.
Easier to install is something that I like to hear, so let's see how it's done.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so for this installation, you need the provided pry tool. It will help you to route the cable from the mount to the right A pillar where we power up the dash. So let me show you how to do it.
So just like Dimitar told you, the first installation method is easier, and that's because you only need to lift the cover of your speakers using the flat part from your pry tool. Just gently jam it between the rubber and the plastic part of the dash, lift it about an inch or enough so the cable can go through, and then we're going to move into the second part, and that's tucking the cable straight in. During this process, take your time, don't rush, because you don't want to scratch the dashboard itself, and once you reach to the end, you just need to leave a little opening where the cable is going to go straight into the A pillar port. After you're done with the first part, what you need to do is put the sexy dash face down in front of the MagSafe stance and run the cable through the small opening underneath. Then plug it straight into the dash itself. Then look how much exactly of the wire is left and pull it with your other hand gently until it straightens up and only a small part is left outside. Help yourself with your fingers or with a pry tool, then you can put the sexy dash on the stand, and this is going to be the final result you're going to be looking for. Then, helping yourself with the pry tool, push the cable into the opening we made a few seconds back. Take your time and make sure that no scratches are going to be left afterwards. When you reach towards the right side, you might see that there is not much opening left for the cable to go in, but don't worry, just help yourself with the pry tool, push it in, and it's going to go straight into the A pillar port without any issues. And the last part is that we need to close up the speaker cover, and that's super easy. Just press it down with both hands until it clicks at all the pins. And the final result is, as you can see on the screen, a completely hidden wire and the sexy dash standing beautifully behind the windshield. Alright, that looks extremely easy, but what's next?
Yeah, so the next part is to use this small adapter, which plugs directly into the cable located in the right A pillar, where the commander usually is connected. So you plug this cable, then you plug the commander from the other side, and you have this small piece that goes to power the dash.
Awesome, so it's something like an extension?
Yes.
We have already opened our A pillar. We're not going to show you how to do it right now because you've already done it with the installation of your commander. But if you're wondering how you can open every plastic of your right A pillar port, I'm going to leave a link for that video down in the description of this one. Let's see how it's done. So these next few steps are extremely simple. You just have to power down your commander if you already have one. Plug the small cable, then plug back the commander, see that the power runs through, and then use the small connector to plug in the dash, which is actually going to power its screen. But before we close up the panel, we need to run the cable into the A pillar port, which is done extremely easy. First, Dimitar is pushing to the side the gray fabric so he can create extra space. The cable goes straight in, and then with the help of a pry tool, he polishes it completely until it's gone. Then he pulls it inside the pillar port area until he finds the perfect spot where he can lay before he starts closing up the panel. Putting it back together is extremely easy. Just clip the first pin, which is going to hold the bottom of your footwell area, then position the L-shaped plastic together with the pins and the clips so they can match perfectly, and then push it with your both hands until they click. Afterwards, don't forget to put the second pin in and the small little plastic cover that's going to hide bolts inside the pillar. And finally, the rubber seal that goes into its own grooves. Dimitar, this was extremely easy. I love rating the installation process, and I would say this one for me is 2 out of 10 when it comes to difficulty. Would you agree?
Yes.
So this one is something that everybody's going to be able to do. However, there's a second method. You want to tell us more about it?
Yeah, so the second method is right behind the steering wheel. It's more of a traditional instrument cluster installation. We will have to lift this wooden piece, the dashboard, from this side so we can tuck the cable in, and that's it.
Okay, but do you need any extra tools to do that?
You need the provided pry tool And probably for some cars, some people might need a Torx screwdriver.
The first thing we need to do is remove A-side pillar port's plastic piece, which is held only by a couple of clips. Underneath, you're going to see if your car has or doesn't have the extra screw, which Tesla has begun putting on some models in the year of 2024 and after. For instance, the car we're using today is a Tesla Model Y built in Germany in May 2024, and it has one. And for that, we need to use a T20 screwdriver. And I just want to point out that you're going to have to repeat the same process on the other side, no matter if your car is a left-hand or a right-hand drive vehicle. Then, gently by using your thumbs, push the panel piece up until it unclicks and a small gap appears. Inside of this gap is the place where we're going to run the cable. Then extend the cable across the entire length of the dashboard and plug it inside the sexy dash itself. Now Dimitar is going to show you how easy it is to hide it inside the groove that we just created. Just use your left hand to push the panel up, and with your right hand, find a space where the cable is going to sit. And to be extra fancy, you can put a small piece of duct tape that's going to hold the cable to the bottom of the dashboard itself. That way you will center it perfectly with your steering wheel. And to finish the entire process, just continue doing the same thing until you reach the far right side. Again, I want to repeat that no matter if your car is a left-hand or a right-hand drive, you're going to do the same. Just if your car is a right-hand drive model, you're going to have less length to cover. Once the cable is fully integrated inside the panel, the last thing we need to do is press on it until it clicks fully, so make sure that all pins are aligned and nothing stays crooked. Just as we did in the beginning, we need to put the screws back from both sides before we continue forward. Now it's time to power up the dash. First, remove the commander and then plug the extension cable that comes together with the dash. From this small cable, we're going to power back the commander, and also there's an extra port coming from it, which is the one we're going to use to power up the dash. Plug all cables in and see if the dash is going to light up. And finally, we need to put everything back together. Find a space to hide all the wires and the commander. Make sure that you're going to put one of the pins in. Then the L-shaped panel needs to align with its clips. Push it firmly with both hands, and don't forget to push the pin inside of it as well. Second to the last is to put the triangular piece on, and lastly we need to put the final plastic piece on. Don't forget the rubber seal, just as before, and bam, your car is looking like brand new. We need to do the same on the other side as well. So the screw first, then the plastic piece, and at the end the rubber seal. The final result gives you an extremely clean look with a sexy dash standing right behind your steering wheel. And this is how easy it is to install the sexy dash inside the Legacy Model 3 or Y. Dimitar, tell me the score. In terms of difficulty, how hard was the second installation compared to the first one?
Yeah, I would rate this one around 4 because it's pretty easy, just a few steps, few clips, and the 2 screwdrivers on this car, so 4 out of 10. I
would say that absolutely every user will be able to do it themselves, correct?
Yeah.
As you saw, it only takes few minutes, the car is extremely easy to disassemble, and you can put it back together in no time. So give it a shot and let us know down in the comments if you did it easily and how much time it took you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see any of our other installations, I'm going to leave a playlist down in the description below. See you soon.